Hi and welcome to video 11. This is me learning how to use the Octatrack 2 and showing you everything I do as I do it. Today I'm going to deal with a few things. The first thing I'm going to sort out is how to add swing to a track. If I play this track, you're going to hear what's wrong with it straight away. That hi-hat's horrible, isn't it? It's 16s, semiquavers, but relentlessly drilling away at the same volume. So how do you do something about that? Well, first thing you can do is to add some shuffle, some swing to it. So if I hold function and bank, you can see that there are 4 rows here: trigs, slides, swing and record trigs. And we've dealt with trigs and record trigs before. I've got the swing row highlighted at the moment, and down the bottom you can see it says swing track 4 50. So I'm on track 4, this is the hi-hat track, and all I need to do is to bring that up to about 54 or 55 with the level encoder. Straight away sounds a lot better. There's no negative value for this. Some of these machines you can go to minus. I've never really seen the point. I've never ever used a minus swing amount, always above 50. So let's leave it on 56, that's fine. It still sounds pretty horrible because all those hi-hats are all at the same volume. They're all at 0 dB, and yes, I could press each trig and change the volume. That's one way of doing it. But there's another way which is quite fun, and that is using an LFO. An LFO is a low frequency oscillator. Basically it's an oscillator that's so low you can't hear it, but what it does, it alters various parameters depending on what it's set to. So if I press LFO and I press it a couple of times to get to the setup page, the default is LFO1 set to pitch. There are 3 LFOs possible on the Octatrack 2. I'm only going to use one of those here in a very simple way. Now at the moment it says parameter source is pitch. Now I want to change that with the A encoder to volume. So I'm going to scroll through until I find volume. It's quite a long way in. There. Now if I press play, there's no change because I've got to mess around with the controls. Now I'm not an expert on LFOs, but I found something that works pretty well. So we'll put the wave on random. I think at the moment that is, what is that? It's a triangle wave. And there's all kinds of waves here. You've got triangle, inverted triangle, saw, inverted saw, square wave, inverted square, exponential, I think that is, inverted exponential, ramp, up, inverted ramp, RND, I think is random. Now if I bring the multiplier, this multiplies the speed of the LFO up to 4%, like that. I bring the speed up to 65, like this, like that, and the depth up to 44. And the one I missed out was the trig. I've experimented with a few of these settings. I think the trig on hold is better. Let's press play and we'll have a listen to that. Sounds a lot better, doesn't it? Much more interesting. It's probably a bit too random for the moment, but you know, you get the idea. Right, let's just bring the general volume down of the track by rotating the level encoder. Okay, like I say, it's probably a bit too random, and if you want a more precise thing, then obviously you would hold the trigs down, and so you hold trig 2 and rotate the volume so you get what you want. So that's unaltered, that's on -4. You could do it that way. But anyway, there's a couple of ways you can make the thing sound more human. Nothing worse than a hi-hat pattern drilling away all at the same level. And the shuffle makes it sound much nicer, doesn't it? When I say shuffle, I mean swing. Same thing. Okay, so that's adding swing and randomising the volume. And LFOs can be set to all kinds of things. You can have them on pitch, Let's have a look here. Let's remember this is on volume. Remember to reset it. Pitch, the start of the sample, the length of the sample, the rate. Look at all these different parameters you can set. Tack, hold, release, volume, the balance. You can have it panning. So actually, while we're on this, let's put this back on volume. Let's go down to LFO2. Let's set this to, I haven't tried this yet, so this could be a disaster. Let's set this to panning. Balance, isn't it? Let's just mute the other tracks for a minute. Right, you can hear that's moving around. Put the other tracks in. So what we have is a lot of panning now on the LFO2. Let's try a different waveform. Let's try triangle, shall we? The very first one. Bring the depth down a bit so it's not so... See, more interest because the hi-hat's moving around in the stereo spectrum. Turn the depth down on the volume. Okay, I'm messing around a lot. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. I've used two LFOs there. One is setting the volume to different amounts. One is setting the panning to different amounts, the balance, if you like. Yeah, and obviously you can try other things with it. Good. Right, what else can we do? What about microtiming? Let's come back to the main page. How do I get to this? Right, I hold a trig. Let's go to the snare track, shall we? This one here. Let's mute. Actually, let's leave the hi-hat track in. The hi-hats and the snare. And we'll just leave the snare in. It sits on 5 and 13. Right, so if I hold the trig down with the record light on, and then press the right arrow key. Right. Now, at the bottom it says on grid, which means to say that the snare is falling exactly where I want it to on that 5th step out of 16. So if I press the right arrow, you'll see different plus values coming up. This means to say that the snare is going to fall later and later and later. Let's run the track. Start with it on grid, okay? Now listen. So it's going to come in again here. Now you hear how clumsy it is because it's late, isn't it? And I'm not a massive fan of this myself. I quite like the mechanical nature of sequences. You know, if I want human drumming, then I'll do that myself. But you see that with that snare trig set there, it's set to be late by +7. Let's take it the other way and make it early. As soon as we get into minus amounts, it's going to be earlier. Something like that. So here we go again. It's early there. So it's on the first snare in the first bar each time. So hold the trig down, press the right arrow or the left arrow, that alters. the microtiming. Personally, I'm not a massive fan, but if you like that kind of thing, I know people don't like everything robotic and on the beat, on the grid. That's how you alter it. I've put this back on grid, so it's going to play bang in time now. Trig condition is off at the moment. So if I go all the way up here, come past these percentages and up to 1, 2. Now, if I play this, played the first time, next time we won't hear it. Here we go. See? Because of that setting there. 1, 2. All these various things you can set it to. 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 3. You can have that snare coming in every third bar, every fourth bar. Lots of things you can do. You can have a percentage. So if I bring this down to say 67%, didn't play that time, did it? Let's see if it'll play this time. Played that time. Okay, so it's set fairly high at 67%, but you get the idea. Now with the up and down arrows, I can change the trigger count. Should we go to a different track? Let's do it on the hi-hat track, shall we? And what we'll do here, we'll hold this ninth trigger down. And if I use the up or down arrows, I can change the trigger count. Let's bring it up to 3, see how that sounds. Can you hear it? It's doing diddly-dit. 4, 6, get back to 3. So it's the famous ratchet effect, isn't it? And that's pretty nice, isn't it? I quite like that. So we'll leave that as it is, I think. That hi-hat track is still pretty loud, isn't it? Let's bring the level down of the track. That will do fine. So a few bits and pieces there, quite interesting. We've randomised the volume with an LFO, we've randomised the panning with an LFO, we've shown you the microtiming, the trig conditions, and how we can add ratchets with that nice trig count effect. We did it on trig 9, didn't we? Set to 3. Good stuff. Let's deal with another major topic, which is resampling. Again, I'm channeling my inner EasyBot here. He's got a really good video where he shows 3 ways of doing this. I'm just going to go through one of those, which I think is probably the more obvious way of doing it. Let's talk about what resampling actually is. Let's say, for sake of argument, you've got a lot of tracks filled up and you want to free up some tracks to add some more sounds. What do? You record all the tracks that you've got recorded onto one track. It's what we used to call bouncing down in the old days. Back in the 80s, I had something called a Porter Studio, which is a 4-track cassette recorder. So once I'd filled up 3 tracks full of sounds, I'd only got 1 track left. I had to sum those 3 tracks, put them all together, record them onto track 4, and that left tracks 1, 2 and 3 clear to add more sounds to. It did mean a lot of hiss building up, but you know, it was better than nothing. That's what resampling amounts to, bouncing down. Of course, once you've resampled, you can slice that resample and you can reuse it in all manner of ways. We need these 3 buttons up here, Rec 1, Rec 2, Rec 3 to do this. Right, I'm going to set this up on track 7. Okay, so have a look at the mixer. And 1, 2, 3 and 4 are on. Those are the 4 tracks we're going to bounce down. Track 7 is on, that's the track I'm going to use. So say no. So I'm on track 7. Now function and record 1. I'm going to turn A and B off, C and D off. I'm going to put the record length as 64. That's the length of my pattern, which is 4 bars. The trig I'm going to set to trig 1, 2. The source I'm going to change to track 8. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to press function and record to. I'm going to set the quantize record on. Okay, that's fine. Quantize playback can stay off. If I come out of this, go to the main page. Now, when I press play, as long as I press Rec 3 before the 4 bars are up, it'll kick into record at the end of those 4 bars and then jump out of record once those 4 bars have been recorded. So to be clear here, I'm summing or bouncing down these 4 tracks onto track 7. So here we go. So keep your eye on track 7, which is highlighted. Should kick into record now. That's good. And it'll drop out of record at the end of the 4 bars. Press stop, that's done. Now, this recording has been made in recording buffer 7. But because this is a static machine, I can't simply press the AED to see the sample because there's no recording buffer for static tracks. So I need to press function and Rec 3 and I say edit this recording, yes. Now you'll see we've got a sample on track 7 and that should be the bounce down. Let's go into the mixer and turn these 4 tracks off. So there's our recorded sample. You know, it's worked. We've got the sample in there. Now I need to hold function and Rec 3 and I need to save this recording. Come down to save this recording, say yes. It's got this funny name. Let's get rid of that. Give it a new name. What should we call it? 1 to 4 sum, something like that. We'll speed the video up, of course. So there we are, 1 to 4 sum. Yes, that's saving the sample. I'm going to assign this to a free static. So let's come down, so yes, it's gone to static 7, so it should be on that track now. So if I play the track, and that's all gone into track 7. You can see from the mixer that these 4 tracks are off. What we're hearing is track 7, that rather clumsy recording I've made where the kick drum is a bit too loud, but you know, you get the idea. It's worked perfectly. So now I could go back and happily record over the first 4 tracks, knowing that I've still got that nice sample on track 7, that 1 to 4 sum, which is in that slot 7. So that is resampling. It's pretty good, isn't it? I can make slices out of that. I probably have to trim the slices up, but you know, it's worked. That's the main thing. So anyway, that was quite fun, wasn't it? And there are other ways. There's a couple of other ways that EasyBot shows of resampling, but out of the 3, I think that's probably the most straightforward. So I'm just going to stick with that one. If you want to check out his video, it's very easy to find. He shows, like I say, a couple of more ways of doing it, but I personally think that that one's absolutely fine. It works for me. So there we are. I've dealt with quite a lot today. Hope you found this interesting and informative. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. If you want to go onto my website, which is www.daddylonglegs.com, you can see lots of videos like this about the Octatrack, about the Dirty Wave M8. You can see videos about the Teenage Engineering OPXY, lots of other techie stuff, lots of other videos of me playing various instruments, everything from the guitar to the melodeon to the banjo to the harp, all kinds of crazy stuff. One thing that would be really lovely would be if you could give me a donation, either on YouTube or on my website. This would help me carry on doing what I do. I really do say thank you to those people who have done that already. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and you'll see me in the next one.